Welcome to the Nostalgic Multiverse.
Yo.
Hello everyone, Nostalgic here. So, today we are going to do a review on the Aliexpress version of Belle. And yeah, another day, another model from Aliexpress. Thing is, well, I've stated it once and I'll state it again. The official models these days are very, very expensive, and especially those from a bygone era. So I decided to get this from AliExpress, and unlike the yellow Rheneas, it is very good quality. Every single detail is painted on correctly, except for maybe the stripes on the cylinder, and even more so the side supports on the smoke box. As you can see, they're a very light tinted blue instead of a dark blue, but I honestly don't mind. So yeah, the little details on this thing are pretty good as well, such as the Sodor Search and Rescue Center fire rescue emblem, the number on her side. The water cannons are pretty good as well, but I really wish they could move around, as they do not. The golden headlamp is nice, the oval buffers are good, and even more so, the magnet is in the correct position to be a back magnet. And on the whole, a pretty good model, has a good amount of weight to it, and, well, yeah, that's basically it. And as for the licensing info, there is none, because this is not an official model, just says made in China this time. And the face, well, for what it's worth, even though it probably has a stare that would stare directly into your soul, it's just a good model as is. And I'm very glad to add this into the collection, because the previous Belle model I was using, I was not satisfied with it whatsoever. Here it is. So, for the longest time, late 2020, I bought this Belle here from a stationery. And the problem with this model is that it's so small and squat that I honestly did not enjoy using it whatsoever. Hell, the water cannons are molded into the body of the engine. You can barely see them. Look at this. Even more so, the bell that Belle has is molded on as well. And that's just it. Even more so, her wheel configuration is similar to that of Arthur's. You could probably easily just file down the paint of this version of Belle, paint it red, put some yellow lining on it, and turn it into Arthur immediately. And even more so, swap the face out. The face is good, the buffers are good, but the rest of the design, it's just so squashed, and it's absolute shit, in my opinion. So that's why I decided to opt for using this instead of this, because this model is so short and squat, while this is perfect. So with that, everyone, that's gonna do it for my review on the AliExpress Belle. This is Nostalgic, signing off and reminding you all that nostalgia never dies. Okay, so because of the fact that I decided to upload the Belle video a little late, guess what came in? More AliExpress models. So, why don't we review them now? Anyway, so with that, let's go in chronological order of the characters in which they were introduced. Here we have George the Steamroller, and I must say, what a nice model to have. I don't like the face though. This does not spell out George to me. This looks more like bastard. But still, the model is nice in detail, and even more so the fact that he has a flywheel as well. Quite nice. And also, at long last, I can finally use this to make remakes of the Four Little Engine stories. Because why not? I want to make the stories with Sir Handel and George. Like, you're Sir Handel, I suppose. Anyway, other than George, I also got Flora, the tram engine. And this Flora is rather... I mean, it's a very good model. I won't lie. The detail is superb on this model, but if anything, why don't we take a look at the licensing at the bottom? Actually, let's take a look at the licensing on the bottom for George as well. Because, as you can see, it says 2016 by Learning Curve. These guys in the knockoff making companies, they are hilarious. Let's see what date they gave Flora. They gave Flora, oh my god, they even gave her 2016 Learning Curve. And Flora wasn't even made for Take Along, period. She was made in Take and Play. That's what I love about the Fake Along models. Some of them are just so uncanny. Other than that, we've also got Victor's Great Big Splash. And yes, this is another Aliexpress model. And you can tell because some of the detail isn't painted on. But at least they captured the original quite well. And like the previous ones, look at that. More licensing. And they even have it licensed to Mattel. Wow, these guys really had no dignity, didn't they? And especially in just roasting Mattel on an open fire. The next one doesn't even have licensing on the bottom. It just says made in China. Here's Hero, and I've been meaning to get a normal version of Hero for a long time, and especially because of the fact that I have the patchwork model. Let me just get his tender. The Patchwork Hero tender. In all honesty, it does look quite out of place for this model to just be pulling along the tender from the Patchwork model. But I still like it nonetheless. If anything, I might as well use Patchwork tender for as long as I can. So as to say, fuck it, might as well not waste a lot of money. But, hey, sometimes you have to waste a little bit of good money to get some products that you need in order to make a series or something. Okay? Now, other than Hero, we've also got the iconic duo, Caitlin and Connor. Or, as they would say, Connor and Caitlin. Now, these two, here's one thing that really pisses me off about some of the Fake Along models. And this is also the case for Hero. That the reason I do not like these Fake Along models sometimes is because some of them don't even come with tenders. For example, models of Donald, Douglas, and the other main engines, even Spencer, believe it or not, they actually get tenders. But as for these three, and even more so Murdoch, Big City Engine, they don't get tenders, unfortunately. And it's so ridiculous, too. It's so dishonest to just not give these three tenders, or even Murdoch, for crying out loud. They don't even do it for Molly, Hank, or any other engines they make in the Fake Along range. All they do is just give us the main engine, and that's that. Fortunately, I can use the Fake Along tender for here. I can use the Patchwork tender for Hero, even though it isn't really the correct color, but whatevs. But as for Connor and Caitlin, well, here are the only two solutions I found. I found that one solution could be that I can just take a spare Murdoch tender, which fortunately enough I have, and just turn it into Connor's tender. With enough hard metal, I should be able to do it. And as for Caitlin, I'm thinking of using Spencer's tender. That is, if I can get the fake-along version from Aliexpress. And in that way, I will have completed Connor and Caitlin models. I cannot buy the tenders. I have found Caitlin's tender, but unfortunately, due to shipping costs and even more so, well, import taxes, especially since the tender was coming out of the UK, guess what? Guess what? Guess how much I would have had to pay for Caitlin's tender? 31 euros! But in any case, that's gonna do it for this video, guys, this review. And in all honesty, I really hope that in some way or form, you can understand why the fake-alongs exist. The fake-alongs don't just exist to be a contender for Mattel and their crappy products these days, but it's more due to the fact that you can buy old models for a very cheap price. They don't look cheaply made, they just look amazing. So with that, everyone, thank you all very much for watching. This is Nostalgic signing off, and remember, nostalgia never dies. Again, sorry for making this a double feature. I just thought I'd take the opportunity. Bye-bye!